There's no hiding now.
And eating.
All right.
Wait, are we on?
Yeah. Come closer to me.
Hey guys, it's Coach Shannon with my colleagues, Coach Talina
Talina
and Coach Kristen. Sitting here at the round table.
Are we live right now?
No.
So I wanted to,
You hear that?
it's getting hot in here. I'm so flushed. I do love the sun, but eating, sunning, talking, can't do 3 things at once. So I wanted to get on a round table review is what I'll call it.
The table is round.
The table is round, and when we started talking yesterday, it just popped up, so it was cool. Anyway, so I started a 14-day fat loss challenge, a personal challenge of my own. Basically, just getting back to a body fat percentage and a feeling that I'm more comfortable with. And everything that goes with it. So we started talking about things, and there was like pinpointing all these different different factors and what goes into your weight loss or your fat loss, mindset, all these things. So we were just chit-chatting about it, and I wanted to record it and share it with you guys. As fitness professionals, we go through the same things that you do. And we just want to share our thoughts.
Yeah, share experiences a little bit.
Experiences, thoughts, and everything. So I wrote down some key points that I wanted to go over. And so again, this is my personal goal. 14 days. Okay, now first, 14 days is not enough time to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to drop 10% body fat and get, it's just 14 days. Honestly, because I'm going to Nashville in 14 days. So
She wants to look.
I bought some clothes that are kind of snug right now. So I'm blushing now. Yeah, that's one of the reasons. But another reason being that I want to maintain a certain level of performance, body fat, and just feeling my best now that I have increased into a higher level of accomplishments, meaning I am a pro bodybuilder now. I did place 4th in the world. I say nice.
Yes.
It's kind of cool. Okay, fine.
Cool.
So, in order to be 1st in the world this year, come November, I'm saying that out loud. I gotta be on top of my game. So that is my focus. So going into the personal goals. So we started talking about it started with my InBody scan results. The InBody scan results is a tool to use to measure out body fat, weight, the percentages, what's this, what's that. If you guys are interested in coming up to the studio and using the machine for a small fee, a monthly fee, feel free. It's definitely
Gives you a good indication of where you are health-wise in terms of body fat, muscle, and water retention. So if you're looking to be aware of yourself and kind of stop stepping on a scale and just reading a number.
and
but
get fixated on that.
Instead of knowing what that number means, it's a great way to start off your progress.
It's not about the number, and Shannon would be the prime example of that.
Am I?
2 weeks.
Am I an example? Okay, not only did this spark my attention because, okay, I get a lot, like, yes, I'm muscular. But when I put on fat, I put on fat. I'm not saying that I'm fat. I got a lot of feedback yesterday. Nothing terrible, but I got feedback yesterday saying, Shannon, you're not fat. You look so good. You look so good. I'm not saying that I'm fat. I'm perfectly fine. I don't want to say I'm perfectly fine. I'm uncomfortable being at the percentage body fat that I'm at now because I know where I could be and where I want to be, athletic wise, being an athlete and my performance and things like that. But I am in no way, shape, or form saying that I am fat and I'm embracing the uncomfortableness.
I think in terms of life, right?
Yeah.
When you progress and when you make progressions in your life or when you make changes to your body, it's like that scale that obviously you make a change and you're on a high, but then you get something to bring you down a little bit, but you don't go as low as you were. You don't go up to the ground level that you started on. Instead, there's now a new level that you're on,
and you make new goals,
and then you keep making new goals, and that's how your progress.
How you advance.
Yeah, that's how you advance. That's why when you get stuck in those little ruts, you don't freak out about it, but instead you catch yourself a little earlier, in terms of like
you're in control.
Yeah.
Eating, and it comes back to the diet, which again, going back to the InBody scan, which Kristen helped me with yesterday, just because like I know what it says, but having someone else say it to you,
it goes into
it's like, okay,
come from
so long story short, yesterday, and I mentioned it. Yeah, I mentioned it yesterday in my Instagram stories that I did put on adequate fat, guys. Fat gain. Okay, that's not water weight. Everyone thinks like, oh, I'm so bloated. Oh, it's all water weight. No.
The InBody actually breaks it down so that you can see, is it that water weight or was I, was my candy actually sticking to my thighs?
Yes. Yeah. And for me, it's salty and sweet. And I mean, I'm really not particular with my food. And sometimes I wish I was. But getting a bag of chips and then eating Ben and Jerry's, it's like, well, if you do that more than 3 nights a week.
Oh, really? 3 nights a week. There we go.
Listen, I'm brutally honest, okay? This is how I gained 10 pounds of fat in my stomach. At least just in my stomach, 10 pounds of fat.
Yeah, and it's important to think about why we do that. I think because it's some people
awareness,
call it cheats meals. Some people call it like binge, but like awareness of why you're taking in those negative nutrients.
And also speaking of awareness, and it's a good point.
I was totally aware of what I was doing, by the way.
Is that whenever you're changing, this is a good, and Shannon's a good example of this when she can explain a little bit more. Is that when you gain weight, you lose it, etc. When you gain it back, you're not going to gain it back the same way you did before.
Yes.
There's a difference between muscle weight and fat weight. There's a big difference in composition, your body composition. And can you please talk about your before?
Yeah, it brought up, so, looking back at pictures, and especially competing, because this is, we're talking about lifestyle changes, but in competing overall was my composition change from when I started competing again since 2014. So when I stepped on stage in 2017, before I stepped on stage, let me give you a little rundown. My uncomfortable weight, let's say, is at 150. Okay, that's when I know I'm like, you gotta bring it down a little bit. I used to like to stay around like 145, let's say. Okay, this is personally speaking. Not saying I'm fat or 145 is a horrible weight. Okay, these are my personal stats. Okay.
What about body fat?
But my body fat. So going into, I didn't know my body fat. I could bring it up, but I should have had that today. But in 2017, I remember, I think it was March. I was 150 pounds, March or May, because May, I said right before my birthday, I was going to compete again. I was going to step on stage again. I was just going to do it. And it was to the point where it's like, okay, 150. I'm looking at myself in the pictures at 150, and my body composition is completely different than the 150 that I have now. I know that I have more muscle mass, and my fat distribution is a little more even, okay? More in the belly, and even, because I was always bottom heavy, so in 2017 I had most of my weight on the bottom. Slimmer in the waist, slim on the arms, but now I'm pretty much distributing fat evenly throughout my body, which is like every year is going to be different. So that was 2017, 2018, now 2019. Where am I at? I'm beginning,